Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark Roden, and in today's video, we're doing another Mark Roden driving and chatting video. I feel like a lot of people take YouTube way too seriously, and if you guys know me, I like doing these chatting videos with you guys, just to like talk to you, see what you guys are thinking, see what you guys are doing, and so you guys can see what I'm thinking and what I'm doing, so we can get a little bit more personal and stuff like that. So and today I have to go, I'm picking up Chinese food for dinner, and it's a nice, like, not nice, but aesthetically nice rainy day for a nice little drive in the Integra. And I have been looking for a new car for tons of time now, and while this car will be a car that you guys will see on the channel, so everything I do to it, the entire build, will be uploaded to my channel, it's not going to be like the Integra, you know, where my #1 priority with the car is to make YouTube videos on it. It's just going to be a daily driver for the next couple of years while I save up some money to buy my next project. In the meantime, something that's cheap and older. And the main thing is, the main takeaway I want you guys to understand is I want something newer. Okay, my whole life I had a 2001 PT Cruiser at first, then I bought a 2003 350Z, and this Acura is a 2000. So my entire life I've had pretty old cars at this point, and I want to experience like the new technology, the nice interiors and stuff like that. So I wanted you guys to keep that in mind. Yeah, I want like an S13, yeah, I want like a E36, but again, I want something that's going to be new, pretty low miles, and nice to drive and comfortable and stuff like that, so I don't have to worry about it for the next couple of years while I build the project cars in the background. Because as much fun as this car has been, now that it's actually kind of built and it has the wheels on there and the wraps on there, it's always very stressful driving it, and I don't really like that feeling. So I don't want to daily drive the Integra every single day, and so I want to get something newer. But anyway, yeah, you guys are going to help me decide. I'm going to give you guys all the options of what I'm thinking, and then you guys are going to let me know what you guys are thinking on what car you think I should build next. Now, I want you guys to know that 4 of the 11 cars, yes, I'm choosing between 11 cars, I am incredibly indecisive, but 4 of the 11 cars are BMWs, and my price range is anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000. That's how much I'm looking to spend on the next car. It's not going to be, I'm not going to like buy it outright, I'm going to finance it and use it to build my credit, because I also want to get my credit score up, so it just kind of works out perfectly there. But yeah, I'm going to try and I'm going to buy one for around that price, and I really like BMWs, that's why there's 4 of them on the list. But let's go over some real quick. So first up, this is the one I think I'm most likely going to get. This is the one that I'm leaning towards the most. It is the BMW 335i F30, not the E92. I love it. I like how it looks. I like that it has an N55 in it. The N55 is a great motor to build. You can get crazy horsepower numbers out of it. I want something that's actually fast in a straight line to see what all that's all about. But on top of that, the BMW is also pretty good at handling. So even though it might be fast in a straight line, it won't just be a boat in the corners, and I like that about it. And so almost everything about the 335i strikes my interest. On top of that, I like sedans because I like to drive my friends around, and I can't do that in my Integra or my 350Z, and so I want to get a sedan as well, or at least a coupe with enough space in the back. So, you know, there are a couple coupes on this list. As a matter of fact, the next one is the BMW 428i F32, which is pretty much the same car as the 335i, except with a smaller, less good motor. I think it's called the N20. But it's a 2-liter turbo inline-4, not as good as the N55 in any way. It's not as fast, but I think the coupe looks better than the sedan. But then again, the sedan has more space and more practicality, and you can get more power out of the motor. So I really don't know between those two. Again, I'm definitely leaning towards the 335i, but the 428i is definitely in there as well. The next BMW is the 650i F13. That's the newest of the 6 Series. I've always loved the 6 Series, no matter what generation it is. As a matter of fact, the M6 E63 is the next car we were going to be talking about too, because I've loved them. I can't sadly afford an M6 F13 just yet, but the 650i I can, and that's still a really good car in my opinion. It looks really, really cool. However, I don't know how good it's going to do for YouTube, and that's kind of what I'm worried about. Not a lot of people even know they exist, and if they do know they exist, they don't really care about them. So I don't really know if people are going to want to watch that car or not. Same thing with the M6 E63. The M6 E63 I think looks a little bit worse, and it's a little bit older, and it's a little bit more unreliable because it is the M6. But again, I don't think many people are going to want to watch that on YouTube, but I love how it looks myself. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. Would you want to watch a 6 Series? Because I feel like nobody does 6 Series builds on YouTube, but I feel like there might be a reason for that, and so I shouldn't be the one to try and get it there, you know what I mean? So I don't know about those ones. They're kind of sketchy. I like them a lot. They're more expensive though, and they're a little bit more unreliable, so I gotta keep that in mind. Next is the Audi S5 8T. This is the first generation of the Audi S5. You can find them for relatively cheap nowadays, and they make a lot of power, and they can make even more power if you get the V8. However, the V8 is also pretty unreliable, people say, so that's scary. I think the car looks absolutely incredible. It is just a coupe, so you know there's not a lot of space in the back, and it's Audi, so it's got all-wheel drive. Its interior is nice, has a lot of nice parts in it and stuff like that. It's definitely up there for sure. The thing that's really driving me away from this one though is the fact that it is pretty unreliable. It's not a very reliable car, and it's going to be my daily driver for the next couple of years, so I got to kind of keep that in mind. Which brings in the next one, the Audi A5 F5. This is the newest version of the 5 line by Audi, and I think they look absolutely incredible. However, now there's a big downside to this one. It is reliable. It looks still really good. It's got an even better interior. You know, it's even more modern, more, you know, sophisticated and stuff like that. But it's not only more expensive, but it's also not that good at making power. The car only comes with a 2-liter inline-4. It's not a good car to build power on. However, I can't afford the S5 F5 right now, so I'd have to get the A5. So again, it's another like this is why I like the 335 iF30 so much, is because it kind of fits all my needs, even though it's not my personal favorite when I look at the car. Like when I look at the 335 iF30, I like it a lot, but I think the S5 looks a whole lot better. So it's kind of you know, confusing. Next is the G37 Coupe. I mean, I've wanted one of these since the dawn of time, and they're actually pretty cheap. You can build decent power out of them. The Q37s are pretty good. They look incredible in my opinion. The interior is definitely a little outdated at this point. It's a little bit of an older car, but you can make it more dated if you want to, and that's okay with me. But then there's a big downside, and there's 2 big downsides to this one. One is it's a coupe. It's a coupe, so it doesn't have much space in the back. And then 2, and this is a big one that one of you guys actually mentioned in one of my videos, I already have a VQ. I already have the 350Z. You guys have seen me, you know, kind of build the 350Z a little bit here and there. And so I don't really know, like, it's kind of like not that much of a difference, if I'm being honest. It's kind of like I almost bought the same car, just now it's a coupe version. And that might just be a little boring, not only for you guys, but honestly for me. Like, I might get bored of the car really quickly because it's just going to be a glorified 350Z. I mean, I get that it comes with a 370Z motor, but you guys know what I'm saying. There is another Infiniti on this list though, the Q50. The Q50 has a VK motor, I think is what it's called, or is it a VR? It's a VR or a VK? I can't remember, but it doesn't have a VQ. It is a lot different. It can make good power. It is a sedan. It is reliable. They are cheap. The Q50s definitely check all the boxes, except for one big flaw. I personally don't really like it. It sucks, I know, but every time I look at a Q50, I'm just kind of like, it could be better. It looks like it wants to be a BMW or / Mercedes mix-up, and I think it just kind of misses on all fronts, and so I don't know. The Q50, again, checks all the boxes except for my personal enjoyment with the car. And again, I mean, obviously, you know, the car, yes, I want to have something fun, fast, and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, I want to make sure that I actually enjoy the car too, and if I don't enjoy it, then I don't really want to buy it. And then the next one is the Subaru WRX Raptor-i. I kind of want to glance over this one really quickly, if I'm being honest, because I'm most likely not going to get it. It's just there for sure in the background, just in case. There is definitely a couple of good points about the car. A, it's all-wheel drive. It's one of the best all-wheel drive systems in the world. They are pretty decently reliable. There's tons of WRXs out there too, so parts are pretty cheap for them. They are a sedan, but everything else about them, I don't know. I never really have liked the WRXs that much, if I'm being 100p with you guys. Same thing with the next car, actually, the Volkswagen GTI Mark 7. That's a hatchback. It's the only hatchback on this list. And again, yeah, I get it. It does check a lot of good boxes. You know, it's very quick if you start to modify it. It's got a ton of space. It's reliable as hell. It's a good car for sure. I'm not saying it's a bad car, but again, it's just not my personal preference, so I most likely won't get those 2. But again, if one of you guys managed to like convince me in the comments and like you guys put up an insane argument about it, hey, you could always, oh my god, I saw that coming from a mile away. You could always change my mind. You never know, you know what I'm saying? So I'm keeping it here just in case, but the WRX and the GTI most likely won't actually be the next car. I just have them there because they are good options, and so I'm thinking about them. And then finally, a car I've wanted since the dawn of time. If you guys know me from back in the old days, you know how much I love this car, the Hyundai Genesis Coupe. I love it so much. However, there's a pretty big downside to it, and that's the fact that it's only rear-wheel drive, and the car pretty much cannot make good power. It's not a very good car to make power on. The 3.8 liter V6 must be turbo to make anything, and then the turbo motor doesn't handle a lot of power either. It's just kind of a waste, if I'm being honest, when it comes to building a car for power. But everything else about the car I do like a lot. It looks really, really cool. It's got a nice enough interior. It's incredibly cheap. It's very reliable. It's got tons of aftermarket support for it out there. Like, everything for the car is cheap. It is a really, really cool car. It's different. You know, not a lot of people modify Genesis Coupes, at least where I'm from. And so, you know, it definitely sparks my interest. But again, there are a couple things that I'd have to, you know, work my way around. The rear wheel drive one and the power potential. Those two are definitely big issues with that car. I live in Goshen, Connecticut, for anybody wondering, so I have to you know, I have to make sure I have something that can make it through the winter. And rear wheel drive, while I could do it, I don't know if I want to take that risk, you know. So anyway, yeah, that's about it. I'm here to pick up my Chinese food. Actually, it's literally perfect timing. So I'm gonna go pick up my Chinese food. Yeah, buddy! Whoop! Look at them bad boys in there. I cannot wait to eat that grub, my boy. All right, anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think, seriously. And if you have any other options that you think is a good idea, definitely let me know. Again, keep in mind, my budget is $10,000 to $20,000, and I want something that is a new car. I do not want something old, so please don't be like, oh, well, you should get a, you know, a Honda Prelude. Like, I like the Honda Prelude, man, but I have an old Honda right now, and the whole reason why I'm getting a new car is because this old Honda scares me to drive now because it's so clean, and I don't want it to break. Okay, you guys get that? You guys get it? Okay. Also, I do kind of want to try something German. I don't know why. I just want to try like a nice luxury coupe type of car that looks like you're a baller. I want to try one of those out, see what all the hubbub is about. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.